The biggest thing for a new person who's kind of cannabis naive or hasn't used cannabis or marijuana before, the basic starting point is you want to figure out how you're going to take it, and if you have the option of getting different varieties, what variety you want to take. The two biggest strain differences are the Cannabis and Sativa strains. The Indicas are more developed in the Afghanistan region, and they're more compact and dense. Those are the ones that have a little bit more of a pain usage, and they're more sedating and mellow people out a little bit more. And the Sativa strains tend to come from the tropics more, and they're much taller and longer. Those have a lighter effect. People get more energized from them, and it makes the mind a little bit more active typically for your average person. Then there's a lot of hybridized strains which mix the two, and those are usually nice because they tend to be more balanced and more middle of the road and treat more different things. But you need to find your own personal propensity and which one is better for you, and that also might vary from time of day too. Some people like Sativa is better in the daytime, and Indica is better in the evening, so they're a little more sedating. Then the next big thing is the forms that it comes in. It's mostly associated with smoking. Smoking has a couple of pluses and a couple of minuses. The biggest plus of smoking is you get a huge dose very rapidly. So you can just take a couple of puffs and know what the effects are going to be pretty quickly. It does wear off a little bit faster, and it can be irritating to the lungs. The good news, though, we've discovered it is not linked at all with cancer. They've discovered with, or COPD per se, but it will. What you can get though is bronchitis, like an irritation in the lungs, especially if you smoke a lot. So if you're prone to that, smoking is not the best way to do it. The real benefit of smoking is like for nausea, if you're having a bad nausea attack and need something really quick or a quick pain attack. And some people can even do a mix. If somebody wants really fast onset, they might try taking like one hit and doing an edible, and then by the time the one hit starts to wear off, the edible starts kicking in. It's another good way to do it. The other ways to use it would be the edibles are a real popular one. These are products you have to put into some kind of food. Cannabis usually needs some kind of heat phase to go into its active form, which they call chemically is called a decarboxylation. But there's some uses that have it not decarboxylated either. This is another area that's growing. It gets kind of technical, but usually you'll get a stronger effect if you decarboxylate it or heat it. So edible products have to be cooked at some point, and there's different ways to get into that specifically. Then there's also another thing people don't know too much about are the topical products. These are the ones you can rub directly into your skin. The topicals are really nice because they're portable. They don't really have much psychoactive effect. They don't really get you high or anything like that. And they often work great for joint pains. Occasionally, if you're really lucky, you might be able to get nausea relief by putting it onto the abdomen, but that's not the most efficient way. And some people will get bad headaches or are lucky enough to be able to put cannabis in their temples and they actually get headache relief from that. That's not as typical, but it's a much more mild way to take it. Let's see, so we got edibles, and there's also now the new thing are these vaporizing devices, which are pretty popular. In the states where it's legal, they can even concentrate into like a little tube where it could have 200 vaporizing hits in one little machine, kind of like the e-cigarettes you see everywhere. And that's that gives it to your lungs without any of the heat or combustants. So it's another way that's kind of clean and quick. Not quite as strong as smoking, but it's very effective and portable.